Good morning, everybody. Let me change my screen. Beckie Belote with Creative Memories. So before we get started, I am going to first tell you, I'm going to be using the circle punch today. So if you want to kind of play around with it with me, you're going to want to go grab it. In fact, if you have the new circle and the new square, grab them because I'm going to show you something about them that you may not have noticed. But before I do, I want to have a girl-to-girl talk with you because every year my kids are like, Mom, what do you want for Christmas? And every year it's like, I don't need anything. When I was little, I always needed things. And now, I always hated when my mom said, oh, I don't need anything. It's like, that is so stupid. Of course you need something. And now here I am. It's like we're adults. And if we need something, we tend to just go buy it, right? If you are one of those that loves creative products, creative memories products, have you told somebody that you love creative memories products? Because it's a great way to really get something that you want. A lot of our stuff will fit in your Christmas stocking. So it's a great thing to ask for. So if you have an advisor, make sure you share with her some items that you would like. If you don't have an advisor, I would love to be your advisor. And you can just email me, Beckie at scrapbookwithbeckie.com. And I spell my name kind of funky, Beckie. So it's Beckie at scrapbookwithbeckie.com, and let me know what you want. And then tell your husband or your boyfriend or your best friend or your mama or, whoever will be looking for, or your children, in my case, whoever might be looking for a gift idea for you, tell them to reach out to me. Give them my email. You can email me for my phone number, and I will be happy to make sure it happens. So I can ship gift certificates. I can ship stuff. I can gift wrap stuff. I can make it really special so that you'll be really surprised. So anyways, that's what we advisors love to do at Christmas time, is make those Christmas wishes come true. So please reach out to us. So I mentioned that. And I mentioned that with a little bit of urgency because right now, if you spend either $100 or $160, you get to pick these bundles that are free. And I was just looking at them and kind of tallying up how much they're worth. And they're like worth between $50 and $65 worth of stuff that you may or may not have. If you don't have them, wow, how amazing. And if you do have them, you probably don't mind having another set. So anyways, time is of the essence for that, though. Okay. If you're thinking to yourself, well, my mom only spends, $75 on my Christmas. Well, okay. So we have the cutest little Cocker Spaniel running around in our cul-de-sac right now. So it's fair this time. It's fair that they are barking because this is kind of our cul-de-sac. So, okay. So this is good. They're moving kind of out of the window. Yeah, this might be good. Whew. So this might be good. All right. So, but back to what I was saying. Let's say you think your mother will just spend 75 on you. How about if you go ahead and give me an order for 25 and then give your mom an order for 75, and we can group those together and make sure you get that bundle if we do it super fast. I hope that makes sense. So I think this time the go outside thing will work. So let me let the dog outside. It's right there. I'll be right back. Hey, you want to go outside? Let's go outside. Let's go see it. All right, so now they'll bark outside, so that'll be better. So anyways, I just wanted to pass that along to you. We can do some creative things, but we need to act fast because this special ends on the 24th of this month at 1 p.m. Okay. So if you're, don't just kind of beat around the bush, say, hey, Mom, I want something and you need to buy it now. Anyways, I hope that makes sense. So let's move on. I think that you get the idea. Let's go ahead and share my screen, and I'm going to show you how to make something pretty cool with your circle punch today. So Let me change this. I hope y'all are having a great week. It's a little cold here in Newport News, Virginia. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is remind you what we did last week. Last week we did a really cool concept with the square maker, making windows. So if you don't know how to do this, go look at my Tip Tuesday from last week. Super fast strategy. And then during the actual demonstration, I actually made this one. I don't know that I actually completed it in front of you. Maybe not. So this very similar, same concept with windows where I took the little squares and kind of tilted them a little bit, threw some bling bling in those little holes. Okay. So both super concepts. So yes, that's what you can do with squares, but you can also do it with circles. Actually, let me show you this one first because it's more obvious. So with circles, you can do the same concept, the exact same technique that I taught last week. And I will kind of show you again really quickly today. This is using polar lights. Pretty, huh? I'm going to show you these stinking cute little embellishments there. Aren't they cute? Anyways, so I did the circle same way as last week, and then I added some trees. I did pop those trees. You probably can't tell at home, but they're popped, nice rise. I put this out to remind you I was out of my roll of foam tape, and it makes me crazy when I'm out of it. I don't know if y'all have tried the foam tape where you can literally just do a really quick pop, and you don't have to pull up a bunch of little pieces, just one strip to do something like that. So anyways, love this. All right. And then same concept. I did a side one this time. And what I did is I laid my flocked borders. This Polar Lights line has flocked laser borders, so they're furry and they give a lot of texture that you're going to really love. But I just laid it on top of my circles to get a different look there. And as soon as I let my dogs back in, because they are like scratching at the door now. Oh, they just broke in. Be quiet, Gracie. Oh my God, you guys. You know, you can't trade in your animals. Maybe I should get another job. I don't know. This is really hard. All right. So anyways, I'm going to show you the concept that I did. You can do two at a time. So if I was going to do a double page spread, I would lay my papers on top of each other, both my papers, to do it at the same time. Oh my gosh. All right, give me a second, Donna. What? What? You want to eat? All right, I am back. All right, so please forgive me. All right, so let me just show you this real fast. It's not going to work there. Oh my gosh. If I start over, what do I do? Gracie, no, stop barking at me. No, you're going to be in trouble. All right. So you line up your punch to the edge, your paper, right to the edge. I can see it just barely sticking out here. You're going to mash. Your next punch, you line up the edge of the circle so that it's touching the punch here. So it goes really fast. So since I showed this last week, I'm going to go really fast to show you how fast this is. You can just line it up over and over again. All right, so then I get this beautiful border. All right, so you could do this on a full sheet of paper and not cut any of it off, or you could cut it off. To her, but she's quiet now. All right, and then I showed you how you could lay a border on top for a look. Let's go ahead and keep it here. How you could put your holes back in. But in this case, I want to show you one more variation that you may not have thought of, where you actually thread it through. Oh, thank you for being quiet for 1 second for me, Gracie. Up, over, under, up. This is a tricky one because it's got all these little hooks on it. And under. So take a look at what you've got. This is another really cool look, I think, that you can do with your circle and your square openings. Okay. But that is not what I'm teaching today. That is something that I hope that you all will try because it's a great way to do a great double page spread. But I'm going to teach you something else about your punches. And I am just scratching the edge of what all these can do. Because one of the first things I always do with my punches is I look at the back of them. I'm usually looking for things that will help me center because I cut upside down. And what I discovered about these is there's all kinds of interesting markings under there. So I don't know what all they're there for, but I have to believe they're measuring tools so that you can get different size pieces of paper that are identical in size. So I'm going to show you what I mean by that by using the circle one today. Okay. So I'm going to build on beige. Of course, you could build directly into your album. The other page, the completed page that I'm going to show you, I actually built on white. So since most people build on white, you certainly could do that one right into your page. This one, I'm using the Totally Tonal Fall paper line. And I have just some cardstock here. So the first thing we're going to do, and now it's the bird. Animal Kingdom. All right, so what you need to do is you need to cut at 1.5 inch. So I'm going to do 2 strips because I do double page spreads most of the time. I'm going to do 1 1/2 and another 1 1/2. So these are going to be for my borders on the side. All right, then what I'm going to do, oh, good. I like it when there's a lighter side when I'm demonstrating in front of you because it's easier to show things. So I am going to use my mat as a measuring tool. Oh, before I do, so that was 1 1/2. Write that down. They're 2 1 1/2 inch strips, and we're going to cut off 1 inch from the end, just 1 inch. All right. So if we had 12 inches and we cut off 1 inch, mathematicians, how many inches do we have? Ding, 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 ding. If you said 11, you are absolutely right. Give yourself a pat on the back. So we're at 11. If we divide that by 2, what do we get? I'm going to give you more time on that one. 11 divided by 2, you all do know that I used to be a math teacher, right? So that's why I'm kind of nerdy. All right, so that would be 5 1/2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a dot at the 5 1/2 mark. 1 2 3 4 5 1/2. All right, I'm going to do that on both sides. All right. Now what I want to do is I want to back up 1 1/2 inches on either side. So there's my half. There's my 1. There's my half. There's my 1. There's my half. There's my 1. Do that on both sides. Now they're all quiet, like they're all innocent. But I am only so grateful because that was like nearly a total, well, it already was a fiasco. I don't know why y'all put up with me, but I certainly appreciate it. All right, so I'm going to roll this upside down. And what I did, I took a Sharpie and put a little black dot on this dot that's closest to the front. So here's the front. I put a little black dot on that little circle, that little metallic circle there. And that's just so that I can eyeball this faster. We are going to do this both borders at the same time. This works very nicely. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to slide this in. Oops, it goes this way. I'm going to slide this in so that the dot that I put on my paper matches the middle of the dot where I put it in that thing. All right, so this dot is lined up with the dot that's underneath there. Okay, and I can see it from the side. I don't know if you all can see it or not, but I can. All right, so I'm going to do that all the way down very quickly. So what this is allowing me to do is to get irregular shapes that are perfectly the same size. I will tell you right now that when you're staring at these two dots, it kind of makes your eyes go a little cross-eyed. So don't be surprised if that happens when you're trying to look at it really close like that. It's separated, so I'm just going to put them back together. Right, now let's do the other side. All right. Pretty easy, huh? So now what I have is two really irregular borders there. All right, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a color to mat those on. As I cut off an inch, it's going to allow me to get a really pretty look here. I'm placing these strategically pretty close so that I can cut them both at the same time to save me a little bit of time. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at this space and I'm guessing what that would look like in between, right? All right, so now what I'm going to do, I do cut very quickly, and a lot of it is because I have little techniques that work for me. So this right here, this edge, I'm gonna put it so that it's in the window here. You all can all see the piece of paper through the window, right? And I'm gonna slide it back till I can just barely see those little feet all the way down. See the little feet. All right, do this on the other side. We don't need to worry about. Now, when I do the middle, I just want it to be cut in the middle, right? So I'm just going to make sure that I can see the feet barely in the middle, and that would be centered. All right. Then I'm going to stack them, make sure that they look like I put them about the same distance, which I did. And then I'm going to do the same technique. You can see it in the window. I'm going to slide back till I can't see it in the window, just barely poking out. And then I get a beautiful margin all the way around. All right. You like that? So that's my borders for my double page spread. Now I want to do an element of creativity with my mats. So I'm going to go back to this pretty piece of, nope, I'm going to pick a neutral. I'm going to pick my beige, and I am going to cut a 5x7 out of my beige, and I'm going to cut a 5x7 out of one more color. You know what? I think I'm going to do it twice out of beige. I didn't do that on my other one, but I think this time I am. So to do a 5x7, I'm lining up the 5. I'm going to line this at the 7 that's right here. You can't see it, but I can. 7. Then I'm going to flip this, and I'm going to cut at 5. 7. All right, and then I'm going to do it again. Stop. So I'm going to do it like this. All right, so there's my, I think we already have it. All right. So I've got my two 5x7s. I'm going to stack them, and I'm going to use my mat again. All right, so this is 7 inches So what is halfway of 7 inches, boys and girls? It would be 3.5. So I'm going to put a dot at 3.5, and I'm going to back up 1.5. Feel familiar? And 1.5 this way. I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom. This is 5, so that would be 2.5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 2.5. Then I'm going to back up 1.5, and I'm going to back up 1.5, and we're going to do the same thing down here. If you don't see the marks, remember every big block on our cutting mat is a 1/2 inch, so 3 of them would be 1.5. And then I'm going to do the same thing opposite here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. So we are going to cut these also at the same time using the same technique that you just learned. So back in the punch, line up your black dots and cut all the way around. Can you hear my dog? She's like talking like in this really sweet voice right now. It's little sighs and stuff, which is much more pleasant than the little yippy bark that you sometimes get. That yippy bark that I was talking about. You've heard that before. All right. So what will happen when you're cutting with cardstock, just a little humor here, I'm going to change my screen for a moment, is your cardstock, because it's so heavy, will pop up on your clothes. So don't be alarmed by that. All right, so let me go back. Little humor relief there. Okay, so I'm going to put all those out of my way. And now I'm going to go back to that pretty printed fall paper, and I'm going to mat these on there, giving it as much or as little space as you want. I pretty much, when I mat, I try to go with that same depth that we did with the borders. And it's something that when you do it a lot, it's kind of an eyeball thing that you just know that you're right or about right, which is enough, right? And now we're going to trim these up. Same as we did before. I'm going to center to cut my center here, just making sure that the feet of that paper is under. All right, and then I'm going to make the feet. I see the feet. I'm going to pull back until I barely see the feet, and that should be perfect. I'll do the same thing here on both sides this time. I see the feet, slide it back until I don't see the feet. I see the feet, slide it back. When you're doing mats for your photos, this is a strategy that works as well. All right, so there we go. And I am ready to show you a beautiful look. Actually, yeah, I'm going to show you, and then I'm going to show you one more thing. So there's, I'm going to build on beige. I'm going to use this accent color in a second. All right, so I'm going to put these guys down at the bottom. Are they pretty? And then these in the margins. Because of cutting that inch off, we're going to have the margin all the way around, which is a look that I really, really love. Is that pretty? All right, and then up here, when I saw these, I thought scallops. So I'm going to cut this piece of paper in scallops, and scallop blade with this tool. I don't know if you know this, but our trimmer, you can accessorize and get all kinds of blades. The purple one is the scallop one, and it's one of my favorites, but it's probably one of the trickiest to use properly every single time. So I just want to tell you how I do it every single time. It's just you remind yourself what this does. I like to put the Creative Memories logo so that it's facing the part that opens. So I'm putting it in so that it faces the way it opens. Most of our You don't have to do anything. So my next door neighbor is moving her trash can because it's trash. Should be done in just a second. Oh gosh, and now Amazon Prime is here. I just can't win today. Oh gosh, please still like me. Please still like me, friends. All right, so when you use your scallop blade, in the direction that I said, this pretty scallop is going to be on your trimmer. The irregular scallop falls off. So you have to be thinking about that every single time. All right. Shall we sing a hymn or something? All right. All right. So Amazon is going back to his truck and it will stop like instantly. So just hang with me because I want you to understand how to do this. If you already know, then you can totally ignore me. All right. So very good. All right. So now I'm going to cut, 3.5 by 5 mats. All right. So first thing I'm going to do is cut a waist strip over here. All right. So that I have the edge that I want on this. All right. And I want 3.5. So when I do this, I'm going to go down to the 5. I am then going to rotate it. This one is going to be easy. Go to 5 and cut that off. When I do my next one, however, this is the right edge. This is the wrong edge. So what I'm going to need to do is cut a waist strip on this one and then start the process over. All right. So I want this to be 3.5 by 5. All right, so the part that's falling off is the part that I don't want to keep. So that right now I feel good that all of my edges are going to be the way that I intended them. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and do 2 more. So if I'm going to do this side, I need to cut another waist strip off because that one's going the wrong way. All right, and then I'm going to go over here. These are both correct. Go to 3.5. I know that this one's going to be correct because this is still on my trimmer. I go down to 5. When I cut this one, I know that's going to be correct because it's still on my trimmer. When I rotate it, this is not on my trimmer, so I need to get rid of it. So that I'm going to cut that waist strip. And now everything is on the trimmer again. I hope that makes sense. So 3.5 is going to be good. Cut it off at 5. Everything's on the trimmer. The edge is correct. Get rid of this piece that's not on the trimmer by doing a waist strip. And I'm going to do one more 3.5 inch cut by 5. Somehow that does not look very good at all. Ooh, I have that doesn't even look level. So I was, when I cut that one, that's not straight. So I need to straighten that guy up. See if I can save this. This is a great use of, what do you call those? Tape chips when you make an error like this. What happened if you weren't paying attention is I didn't do a straight cut. So if I want this to match the rest of them, I'm going to have to put it together, and tape chips are really good for that. If you want to put it back together and you put the photo up and you'll never even notice. All right, but we're not going to worry about that right now, but tape chips will do that. It's a double-sided tape. Your photo tape will also do that. That's another, if you have that at home, you just put it on the back and then don't remove the adhesive. Just kind of keep it there to hold it together. All right, but again, we won't worry about it. This is not my one. In fact, I will throw that out for now. All right, so we're going to get this look on our page. Oh, I have enough anyways. Dun-da-da. Perfect. All right. So let me show you a completed version of this so that you can ooh and ah and be really excited. So this I did with shades of Christmas. This time I did red on top. This is our new red, by the way. It matches this line really nicely. So I did one on white, I did one on red, picked the same busy pattern for the base piece. I made myself a little journal box up here using the perforated blade that comes with our trimmer so that I can write there. Over here, I added a tag from the embellishment set from the Seasonal Sightings line, and I popped this little sticker here. I cut a really thin strip of paper to actually pull through that little hole that was already there on that. If you don't have any tags, we have a beveled tag maker that will do this too. It's a great way to add a quick, fun little embellishment. And then over here, I just added a little grouping of stickers also. Actually, these are a sticker and an embellishment from Seasonal Sightings. All right. Just to show you what a photo would look like on it. Super pretty, right? Okay. So you have heard enough from me and my dogs today to last you a lifetime, probably. So, oops, I just really messed up the screen. Oh my gosh. There we go. So I apologize. I feel like crying sometimes, but I just got to keep on smiling. I'm grateful to have the ideas to share, and I hope that you enjoy watching them. Thanks so much again and have an amazing week. Bye.